Hi, it's Kevin May, the Editor-in-Chief of PhocusWire. We're here in the PhocusWire studio. Nadim El Manaway, the CEO of Arise Travel. First of all, congratulations. You were selected by our panel as one of the hot 25 startups to watch for 2019. So we could talk about that for ages, but we're actually here to talk about Arise Travel itself. So it's a blockchain-led solution. Mm-hmm. I would admit to being one of, I suspect, many people that was pretty skeptical about blockchain and its potential and the opportunity and all those various things. Where do you think we are generally with the skepticism in the industry around blockchain as a concept?
Yep. I think blockchain as a concept has been overhyped over the past 2 years.
Who's to blame for that? Is it the likes of the media, or is it the people that...
Yeah, both. I think because basically travel tech news in general, even blockchain in general, but if we focus about travel here, they jumped on oh, this is exciting, this is going to be the next new thing, blah, blah. But they started basically talking about this maybe 2016, really 17 a lot. But then the conversations have been the same for a year and a half, 2 years, and without seeing much progress. So that's why okay, overhyped. And now I think, actually in the presentation I just did here, I don't even mention the word blockchain. Even though, yes, okay, it's distributed ledger and blah, blah, blah. I go into the specifics, into the benefits of the technology itself. But I try to stay away from the buzzword because, again, too many projects, they put blockchain into it because they think it's going to make it sound way more sexier. Yeah. But way overhyped. So it's basically now sticking back to what are the main problems that we want to tackle and how does this technology apply to fixing this? But otherwise, normally you don't talk about the technologies. What's the problem? What's your solution? Done. Which is kind of the approach we're taking. Blockchain actually is a good framework to solve many of the problems we tackle, but we don't lead with blockchain because, again, the perception otherwise is, I think the hype is down now. Okay. That's my opinion.
Okay, well, I mean, the next couple of months or into next year will display whether the hype has gone or not. It still feels like it's burning quite brightly at the moment. I mean, how did you, Arise, come up with your particular solution to the problem that you're solving?
So initially,
because lots of people have stories about how they came up with a blockchain-led solution for a problem. What was your little story?
So both my co-founder and I, we were working for a PMS company before, and so we had to obviously connect to the GDSs and wholesalers, channel managers and whatnot. So we saw how things were basically patched together and connected behind the scenes. And we were like, okay, clearly we saw frustration from the hotel side and distributor side on how to share data and transact because they can't do it in a much direct, efficient, transparent way today. We're like, okay, what can be done here? Because people were like, oh, we wanted to replace GDSs and whatnot, but if you just create a copycat in centralized solution, you won't do a better job than what they do today. So basically you needed to come up with a way where you can basically take online distribution and connectivity to the next level, but does not just copy what already exists today. And so that's why having a distributed model allows us basically to create a much more flexible and actually even better connectivity without actually us running the network. So we are able to provide this for free because we actually don't run the infrastructure. So, and again, then I can get into the details into what the benefits of blockchain in terms of we don't even need support and so forth. But again, I don't...
No, it's fine. I mean, I think the concept of blockchain has finally dawned on most people and they get it. But you said there, we can provide this for free. I mean, so we flip it the other way. So how do you make money to survive?
Yeah, we make money by, it's basically almost a service on top of our own infrastructure, which is handling the commission payouts automatically. So it's moving the money from hotels' account to distributors whenever conditions are met. So we have what we call smart contract, which are basically code that follows the rules. They know when to execute a certain action. And so meaning, let's say when the guest checks out, okay, we now need to pay this commission to this distributor, we move the money. So if you're familiar with companies like Stripe, for example, in the US, so people are like, oh, you could become a Stripe for travel, basically, where you handle automatically all the commission payouts. So that's part of most business model will be around that. But then there could be other type of services around identity verification on the network and so forth. And I could go on and on other stuff that we might be doing, but the main business model will be around commission tracking and reconciliation and handling the commission payouts automatically.
What needs to happen to Arise as a business for it to suddenly start really working for you?
In terms of revenue-wise?
Or in general? Not so much revenue-wise, but just when do you start ticking boxes saying we're succeeding in what we're doing here?
Oh, I mean, as soon as basically you have suppliers to hotels that are having transactions that we basically close the loop. So you have distributors from small, mid-sized OTAs, corporate travel companies, chatbots, any type of companies that sell hotel rooms in numerous different ways. Once we close the loop, where basically they were able to get directly through the network access to the information, they sold the room, completed the stay, and we've paid out the commission from the hotel to the distributor. That's where basically we've proven that the whole loop is efficient and working. So for us, that's basically what we're basically doing here as we speak, here over the next couple of weeks. So that's basically going to be the proof that the technology is working and beneficial for both parties.
Yep.
So even though it's going to be at a small volume to start, but then as we grow.
So what kind of volumes would you say would be successful then?
Well, it depends on what stage, but for us, honestly, at this stage, to prove that this is like successful, we could be just couple hundred reservations that we close the whole loop.
Okay.
Is enough to prove that, again, it's beneficial. Obviously, 100 or 1,000 reservations is nothing, but in terms of like proving that the technology is useful and people benefit from it, is enough to start.
And then once you've proven it, then what needs to happen, do you think, in terms of getting this widespread adoption, if that's what the end goal is?
Right.
Do you need is it a group of chains to wake up and start using it, or is it GDSs? I mean,
GDSs are most, it's pretty much people we are trying to disrupt.
Indeed, but you're starting to hear them talk about how they're rethinking what they want to do because of blockchain, right?
True.
So if they do it, what happens to you? I mean, because they've got the scale and the relationships already.
They have the scale and the budget, but the way their business model works and the way they're set up, it's going to take them, like, they basically have to pretty much scratch what they have in place today and start from scratch. So before they can offer like free connectivity and like, again, just the way I'm sure everybody knows how they're structured today, like the number of support loads that they need to face, and because it's all centralized, obviously the cost of running the network and their solution is heavy, which obviously leads to high fees that they charge. So again, I'm not worried about them, to be honest, because for them to move to what we're doing, like will be either like very successful by then or out of business by then, but I'm not worried because it's going to take ages for them to get there, so it's fine.
Great, okay. Nadim El Manaway, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.